Hello, good morning, everyone. Friend over here at B.laster Works, and it's time to plan in my trash journal for next week. We are working on week 4, and it is going to be this page, which is pretty cool. I like all these cats. I mean, not cats, owls. And this is funny because I actually have some very large cucumbers coming already up in my garden bed. Actually, I will. I think I deleted the picture I took to send to my brothers. Yeah, I might have deleted it already, but if I still have it on my phone, I'll insert it. But yeah, the cucumber, it's like last year's Japanese cucumber, and it's not even ready to pick yet. But I kid you not, it is about this long already. Skinny though, it's not. It's not a regular size cucumber. It's a skinny one, but still very long. But anywho, enough of that. Yeah, so this is the page we're working on. This was last week, and I journaled yesterday, and look, I filled up the whole thing almost. Pretty good. I must have had an interesting week last week. Let's see, and then that's my to-do list that I'll have to transfer a lot of stuff over to this week's to-do list. So that's the trash journal. I rode my bike 2 days because we had 2 days of appointments, so I couldn't ride on those 2 days. And here's my trash. This is from an apple bag. I just cut out the apple. This is from, this is actually from my new journal card, which I just uploaded the video this morning, so it will be up before the trash talk video is up. Where'd it go? Where's the journal card itself? Maybe it's still in the journal already? No. All right, I lost my journal card. Hold on, I'll find it. Okay, so anyway, so that is part of the scraps from that, and these are leftovers from the journal card. This is, of course, tangerines or mandarins. Not sure if I'll use that. I've used that before, but this, I just bought this scouring stick, the pumice, and I've never tried this before, but I want to try it on my toilet to get the ring out of there. And you know how where the water comes down, there's like some drip stains. So I'm hoping this will work to clean all that off. But yeah, I haven't used it yet. I just bought it. I just got it in. This, of course, we had our burgers, our plant burgers. My daughter, for Mother's Day, on Sunday, last Sunday, she said she would buy our lunch for us. And she bought me she sent me a garden bed, a new garden bed. So I already have that set up now in the backyard, but I haven't put anything in it yet. But she felt like that wasn't enough. So then she said, okay, I'll buy you lunch. So then she bought us lunch at our favorite burger place. So that's why I saved that. We tried these. We actually finished it off yesterday for lunch. Oh, there's my journal card. It was stuck to this. These are plant-based corn dogs. Really good. I like them. I like them a lot. Let's see, is there a few stuff that, that's less than 2% of all this other stuff down here, but nothing too bad. No soy at least, so that's good. But yeah, so these are kind of good actually when you put them in the air fryer and get them nice and crispy. I liked them, but we had that for lunch yesterday. So there's my journal card. So this was my journal card I made. Remember, I used that little calendar that I found looking for other stuff because it matches the days match. So I'm going to use it for this week, the 17th through the 23rd. So I'll journal here. But yeah, that's it. A little coffee mug. So that's that. And then these I found actually at work in the back room. It was on the floor getting run over and stepped on and everything. So I was like, well, I guess it's trash then, since no one cares about it. So I took it. And I like this kind of stuff. The letters, I'll probably use that. Maybe I could use that on covers for the month, some of them. But yeah, so I just took that. So this, I'm not sure. I might take one of the stickers and put it on this week's, but not positive. And then I also found this. I thought it was a pencil, but it's actually, I think, for your hair, like to put in a bun. And I'll probably just take the flower off because it's kind of a cool flower and put it on something. I don't know what yet, but yeah. So I just found that trash. And then I also found another sign while riding my bike to work the other day. Ta-da! And it's a really thin metal, aluminum or something, I don't know. But yeah, both sides. This side is way more faded than this side, and it's all cracked up. I cleaned it already. It looked way worse than this, but I did clean it when I got to work. Um, so yeah, what am I going to do with it? I have no idea. But it'll go with my other sign. This one I didn't find. This one I got at the flea market for a few bucks. But yeah, I need to get my little she shed put together so I can put these in there. But just wanted to share that with you. That was my super cool trash find for the week. All right, so now I guess I will just start working on my trash journal. Not much to put in there, actually. These, if I don't use them here, maybe in the center page. So I need to figure out my center page too. Because, I've been adding a piece of the art for the journals, at least a piece in there. So, ooh, the donut. Oh, my stomach. Maybe the donut will go here on her head since she has an avocado. Don't know. I have these left over, some die cuts, because I was trying to, on my mug, try and make, because originally I just had the donut on there and it just wasn't popping off enough. So I cut these out to see which one I would use, and I used the medium one, not the light or the dark, but the one in the middle. So I have these extra. Well, that fits on her face pretty good. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I'll just put all that in the middle for now and focus on this page. Oh, what a week. Not too bad. Oh yeah, I did have I'm not going to say exciting because I was very worried about my friend. Remember, I told you she was sick. She didn't make her eye exam appointment because she got sick. And that was on a Wednesday. And then so we usually, go to the flea market. And so I called her on Friday, because this was before Trash Talk, right? Before Mother's Day. So I called her on Friday to see if she wanted to go, see how she was doing, but she didn't answer. So I thought, well, she doesn't have a cell phone because she lost it, and then her home phone is downstairs. So I figured, she's probably in bed, resting, can't hear the phone, don't want her to try to run downstairs to answer. So I hung up. So I'll just try calling her again tomorrow, which would be Saturday. So I called Saturday. She still wasn't answering. So I was like, okay. So then by Sunday, when I did have Trash Talk, remember I told you guys it was Mother's Day and I was going to try to call her and see if she wanted to go. So I called Sunday also in the morning, and she didn't answer. And I thought, well, I'm probably just catching her. Either she's not hearing her phone or I'm just catching her when she's walking the dog or going out or doing this or that, But by the end of Sunday, because I called a few times, she still wasn't answering. And then Monday I went to work and I said, you know what, if she doesn't answer today, I'm going to go over there and check on her. So then Monday, after work, she didn't answer. I left and I rode my bike Monday. So I came home. I told hubby, you know what, I'm going to go check on her. And then I drove over to where she lives, which is about 20 miles or so away, I'm guessing. So I went there and knocked on her door, and I could hear her TV on. And her roommate's car wasn't there. Her roommate is a friend of her husband. He used to work with her husband. So I was like, his car wasn't there. And I'm like, well, maybe he's at work. So maybe, I don't know, but maybe he's at the hospital. I don't know what's going on at this point. This is wet. And her dog wasn't barking. Okay. So usually her little dog will bark if someone's at the door. And when I knocked on the door, rang the doorbell, he didn't bark. So, okay, red flag. So I was like, oh, Mick is not barking. So that's not good. So then I went across, because the neighbor across the street, his garage door was open. So I went over there. I don't know who he is. I knocked on his door. He came to the door and I asked him if he had seen her because I'm doing a well check on her. And then he got really concerned. He's like, well, I did see her car out. I think he was an older gentleman too. So he couldn't really remember if it was the day before or the day before that, He's like, but I'm going to keep, what's your name? And I told him my name. And he's like, I'm going to keep an eye out. So if I do see her, I can let her know that you were looking for her. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe I'll use this as a planner because, I can write on this. So this might be my Sunday through Saturday planner. All right, since I already have a journal card. I was just going to cut out the corn dog, but I may still do that, but let's just put that aside for now. Anywho, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so then I went back across the street again and continued knocking, still nothing. So then I saw the mailman down the street. So I was like, oh, let me go talk to the mailman, see if she's checked her mail. So then I went to the mailman and he knew who she was. And so he opened up her mailbox and it was full of mail. Okay. And he's like, oh no, she hasn't been to check her mail. So again, I'm panicking. And he's like, and he told me, well, if she doesn't answer, you can call the police and they'll do a well check and they'll open the door. You know what I mean? But I didn't want to do all that if it was not necessary. You know what I mean? So then he's like, do you want to take her mail? And I was like, yeah, if that's okay, I'll take it. And then, so he gave me her mail. And then I went back to her house and again, knocked on the door. And then, but this time she's like, just a minute. So I was like, oh my God, she's there. She's alive. Okay. So I was so relieved at that point. And then she answered the door and she was surprised to see me. And then she's like, oh, hey, all normal. And I'm like, girl, don't you ever answer your phone. So then she showed me her phone. She had to replace it with an old phone that she found in the garage because her other phone that she had, it's one of those that you just put in the thing to charge it, you know what I mean? And then you can walk around the house using it. It's a cordless. That's the word I'm looking for. But she had placed it down probably, she said, in the garage somewhere, and her garage is pretty full. Because I'm pretty sure I placed it in the garage somewhere and I just can't find it. So she found that other old phone. So she had just plugged it in that afternoon, but it's very quiet when it rings because I called it while I was sitting there to make sure it worked. I said, well, let me call it right now while we're here, and it works. And I'm like, okay, but she could barely hear it. You know what I mean? So I think she just couldn't hear me calling. And then, yeah, so, but she's okay. Thank goodness. So, and then I'm like, you know what? She goes, I was going to call you as soon as, she goes, I was just out in the backyard doing some, yard work and stuff. She goes, but I was going to call you and let you know. But yeah, so that was my scare for the week because I really, 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 really was worried about her. All right, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I was originally going to use this as the journal card, or the planner, but look, once I tore it all apart, it's not that good. So I'm going to use this one. This, maybe I'll just take a little piece of it off. I just don't know what piece I want to use yet. Because it could make a nice pocket or tuck spot. And then this I don't have to use because I've already used this before in my trash journal. And then I'm thinking my apple, I like that it's like a little corner piece. So this is the corner that it should go in. I mean, unless I put it up here, it could work there too. Like that. Okay, so I know this is going to come here, so I need something to hold that down. And I guess this would go over here. And this could just be, I could just cut out plant power and use that for decoration. All right, enough talking. Let's just start doing here. All right, so I'm going to put that away because I'm not going to use that. Maybe I'll just cut out one of the cuties. He's kind of stretched. Which one's in better condition? Well, this one has the whole word on it. Okay. Actually, I'll just cut out like I did the apple. So yeah, so that was how I started my week. But then I came home, and then everything was good. Wednesday, I had my well check, not well check, sorry, annual physical or exam, and everything's good. Blood work is pretty good. The usual, need to cut back on sugar and carbs, pre-diabetes type of thing. But nothing to really, doctor said nothing to really be concerned about, but just to do that now so that I don't have to worry about it later, like proactive. So, but I already knew that. I mean, that's been for the last few years, that has been the thing. I've been at the same numbers for the last few years, so it hasn't really fluctuated, gone any higher or anything like that. Let's see. I feel like this should be decorated because it's like a vegetable page. This should be decorated with that. And then you'll go there. And then pocket-wise, oh, you know what? I could probably use these guys as a tuck for here. Just to put this in. Yeah, I'll do that. Is that enough, though, to hold that? I'd have to put it really low. Yeah, I think so. Put it like that. Yeah. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, so that was that. And then what else did I do last week? Just work. Actually, on Wednesday, I was supposed to be off so I could go to my doctor's appointment. But I went in just in the morning just because I knew I had to get some stuff done. And I don't like to leave Juan with a lot of crap, you know. So, but he called out. He ended up calling me that morning and saying he wasn't going to be able to make it because he wasn't feeling good. So then I ended up staying just a little bit, like an extra hour than I wanted to. But I got a lot of stuff done to where we didn't fall behind. So that was good. And then, and I still, had time to make it to my doctor's appointment. And then, yeah, so that's that. Oh yeah, on Tuesday, hubby had a foot, for his foot. Nothing major. He just had an appointment for his foot, so that went well. And then the rest of the week was just working. I didn't do any yard work yesterday. I got lazy. Not lazy, but I just, you know what? I'm just going to chill. I won't say lazy, but yeah, I just chilled. Took it easy. It was a nice day yesterday. And then today I have a store meeting, so no flea market today. I have a store meeting to go to, and I don't know which part. I think, should I use? Yeah, I'll just use this bottom part. I'll cut that part off though, because I don't want it to snag on this whenever I put it in there, my planner in there. Anywho, I got a meeting to go to this morning, so we won't be going to the flea market. Yeah. And that's it. How's everyone else's week? Uneventful like mine? Well, actually, this week was actually quite, that's probably why I filled up my journal card, because it was actually a little bit eventful. All right, let's see. I really like this. Oh, and I finished my Scrappy 8, finally. My sign, here's your sign. The challenge prompt was, here's your sign, from Kristen, and I finally finished that up. So I just need to upload it and get that ready for everyone to see. So that'll come this week, probably in a couple days, maybe by Tuesday or so. Should I put that down there? Up here? What do you guys think? Up here? Yeah, kind of break it up a little bit, huh? And then I ended up last night because I got a comment on one of my older videos, the Junk Journal July box. Remember when I was making that? And then I ended up watching that playlist, and I thought to myself, I really need to get back into creating like that, because that actually, not giving myself a pat on the back, I'm not trying to, but that was actually pretty cool. I mean, I do need to give myself some credit for that. That was interesting, and I need to get back into doing that type of art, like I did on that. Pretty creative. I mean, I love doing this. Don't get me wrong, because this is kind of like a stress relief. You don't really have to think about it. You don't worry about what it looks like, because it's just trash. The colors can be whatever. You don't have to balance it. Nothing has to make sense. That kind of thing. Kind of like a glue book type of thing. But yeah, but I do want to get back into. So I can, yeah, that'll be fine. Into some of that, like the asylum and that box that I made for the Junk Journal July. Okay. I should have sewed these down, but I guess I could just use double-sided tape on these, and then I don't want him to be too covered up. And then this, should I just use that? I think I'll just use this part, because I don't need it to be that. And this will probably just have to be a tuck, because it's barely wide enough. So I'll just glue it on this side and down here, and then this will just tuck in this way. I mean, I could make this a little bit thinner too. I don't really need that much. Just cut it straight up here. But still, I'll still make it a tuck. Just easier. Don't got to worry about it. And Well, look, not a good source of protein. I guess they have to put that on there. Yeah, of course. I already know that. Should I keep that on there? Yeah, I think I'll keep that on there. I'll just cut away right under here. And of course, for Vera, I need to round off my corners. So let's do that real quick. Anyway, so yeah. Did I tell you guys I'm going in for a meeting? Yeah, I did tell you, because that's why we're not going to the flea market today. I'm going to ride my bike. I'm kind of excited about it because on Sundays, there's really not that much traffic on that street. So I'm really happy about that because then it'll just be so much nicer. And maybe I'll find some cool trash and I won't be embarrassed to go pick it up because no one will be there to see me. Not that I am ever embarrassed, but I know people are like, why is she picking that up? Especially not last year, but the year before when I was picking up all kinds of stuff, all kinds of that one children's book that was all, the pages were scattered all the way down the street. And I kept finding, I wouldn't find them all in one day. I would just find them randomly. But it was enough for me to use in my trash journal. And I bet you people were like, why is she picking that? I'm sure I look kind of weird. Okay. Yeah, that works. All right. Should I have rounded that off too? At least this side? Yeah, we'll just do this side. I know that's going to look weird now because I didn't do it on that side, but that's okay. That side's fine over there. There we go. I can see why Vera likes the rounded corners. They are, cosmetically, they do look nice. Okay, so then I'm just going to, I need to add this though. You know, I'll put something down here. I just want this on here because, did you know plant-based burgers use 99% less water than beef? The amount of water in an average swimming pool can only produce 312 beef burgers, but can produce a whopping 60,837 plant-based burgers. That's interesting. I think I'll keep that. I did not know that. All right, well, let's just keep this part. I'll still keep that, but I just won't put it in today. Let's see. I'll just put this little strip somewhere on here. It's just, I'll probably tear it up anyway. There we go. Let's keep that to the side. Oh wait, was there a? No, I'm trying to save the Q codes or whatever you call those things. QWERTY, what are those called? What happened to the rest of my corn dog box? I'm saving those because, oh, here it is. Is there one on there? QWERTY code? No, they don't have one on here. Okay, so I don't need that then. Because at the end of the year, I'm going to just glue them all onto one page and put them in there, and then I'm not going to know what they're from, so I have to scan it to see. I just thought that was kind of cool. All right, I don't want to cover up my donuts, though. You know what, maybe I'll just put this here. Where's the middle? Okay, so I have to put it like that. Yeah, I'll just do that. Let's round that off a little bit. Make it more organic than just straight. All right. Anywho, what were we talking about just now? I don't even know. Oh, the Q codes or whatever those are called. It's funny because I already had, as you see, I've already started saving those. And then yesterday was I on Facebook? I think I was on Facebook or YouTube or somewhere. And someone was making like a big, probably a mixed media piece using those. And they were just gluing them all randomly down. And I thought, someone else has the same idea as me, which is common, I'm sure. A lot of people already probably did it and already had that idea. I don't know why. I think that it's some fabulous new idea. So, all right, let's put this down. I'm just going to use stick glue and stick it here. there, going up there. Oh, scooch it in a little bit more. There we go. A little bit of facts that we need to know. Go there. And then I just need to double tape that, stamp that. This I'll just do off camera because I'm pretty sure I've held you guys hostage long enough today. And I think that's it. I've used all the trash. I think I talked about everything that I did last week. It was just my scare and my doctor's appointment. Look on my what I wrote here. Yeah. Yep. I think I covered everything. I still need to paint Koa. I still haven't put him up on the desk. And I just have to do one more Divas color cube card. So then I think maybe after that, I think going into June, I should be able to focus more on Koa. I'm sorry, Koa. I feel so bad. He's just sitting behind me, just looking at me with his big old eyes like, come on, lady, finish me up. I want to go home. All right, guys. So I'm just going to double-sided tape this down. I might sew it onto something, but I don't know yet. If I do, I'll just show you guys next week. And then I just need to stamp my Sunday through Saturday on that. That is going to live in here. And I'm just going to call it a day. Oh, I got to do the center. Yeah, I'll show that to you guys next week also, because I still got to add this. I'm thinking with the donut, I'm not sure if I'll put that on her head because I don't know, although it looks kind of cool on her head. I might just put this on her face because look, it just fits her face perfectly. And then that'll be her attention because she wants attention too, because she's like, why does she get to have an avocado on her head and she gets all the attention? So this will make her stand out. And then maybe the donut, you know what? Because it's a sticker and it comes off. So I can cut it and then maybe I'll put it, maybe this guy will be carrying the donut. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So I'll do that off camera also, and then I'll share that with you. And then these I'll just put in my scrap pile. I could probably still, I don't know, what do you guys think? You guys can comment below and see if I need to add this. Should I add that on there like that? Okay, imagine the donut's going to be over here, not there. And then I still have these two. I don't have to use everything up, you know. So, and I still might put my little dogs down here. But let me know about that, if you think I should do that or just leave it like that, okay? If you can. If I don't hear anything from anybody, I'll probably just leave it. But if you guys think that that enhances it, then I'll put that there. And I'll even cut so you can see, I'll make it look like the surfboard is going over it. So like she's coming through it that way. But you guys tell me what you think. But the donut will probably be in this parakeet's claws. And then this will glue down here like that. Okay? All right. That's it for me. I'm going to go shower, get ready for my meeting. And I'll see you guys on the next video, okay? Thanks for joining me, you guys. Love you all the bunches. Tschüss.